Greetings and welcome to another garage update video. I have a few things to show you today and the theme is carbon and gold. So we'll start off with something that I've already done, and that is bringing back the carbon fiber wing mirror caps. So if you remember from way back at pretty much the start of my Focus RS modification journey, I got the caps from, well, a manufacturer that I shall not name because they are quite undesirable folks, and I also tried a few different like sort of cheap sort of eBay versions and stuff, and nothing really worked out, so I eventually just went back to the blue. But now these, I got these essentially for nothing, but they didn't fit at all. So what I had to do then was, using my Dremel and a bit of ingenuity, get them to fit, and it worked out pretty good, I think, and just sets off real nice with our black tinted auto beam sequential indicator units. Bounce over to the other side. Yeah, man. They are real carbon fiber, like skinned, and you can kind of see the weave there. They're just real nice, and the fitment is not too bad, and you know, I'm pretty happy with them for now at least. So there's a sort of further out shot. Yeah, nice. So that's the first thing that I've done already, and I think looks pretty cool. It's a nice visual mod, and we'll get back to the carbon in a minute, but next up I'm going to talk about a little bit of gold. If you have followed my videos for a while, there's a video I did a while ago where I did some gold tape here that I actually removed from the Mini Cooper that I used to have. I think that's been pretty successful, and I think it looks really cool, but it kind of got me thinking about doing more of this. So the intake, the rest of the intake, where there's silicone, we're fine, but where it's just like, you know, the plain metal, there could quite easily be some transference of heat, and one of the hottest areas is going to be like sort of right under here where the turbo is, and that heat's going to be rising up and hitting the bottom and indeed the side, basically the other side of where the M is, and that could potentially harm our intake temperatures. So I'm going to deal with that today, and as you can see, I have already got the first part of the intake out. So if I jump over to the garage, I will show you what I'm going to do. Alright, here it is then, the first section of the intake. Now, as we were saying, that heat, the biggest amount of heat is going to be coming up from below, rising up. So it's this underneath part that I think is going to be getting hit with the most amount of heat. So instead of covering this entire thing with gold, which would be kind of tough with the Mountune logo and stuff, if you can kind of see, like there's a contour like either side, so if I flip it around, it's, you know, reasonably cylindrical on the bottom, so this is a good candidate area for putting some gold tape. And I just so happen to have a brand new pack of gold reflective heat tape from Funk Motorsport. This is the exact same stuff that we have on the first part of our intake, on those plastic bits that come from the airbox, except this is in tape form as opposed to coming from a big individual sheet. So this is handy because what we are going to do is essentially cut strips, so strips that are from here to just under here, and then going to put a strip and then another strip with a little bit of an overlap, and then just do strips all the way along to fill this sort of whole area. Obviously going around this, and this will be, you know, a little bit of complexity, but it's not really too much at all, and then that should be good, and it should also look pretty cool as well, much like the gold that we have on the first part of the intake. And once I've got this bit done, I'll go and grab the other bit of the crossover and get it done too. First stage before we actually start cutting and sticking on our tape is to give this a bit of a clean down. I mean, it's, well, it's maybe a little grimy, but yeah, we want the cleanest, most prepped surface that we can to have maximum adhesion from our gold tape. So I am going to use G-Technic Panel Wipe, which is essentially like quite high alcohol, which will break down and remove any grime. So just spread it into a microfiber and give it a good old wipe, and then if it's wet, I'll let it flash off, and then that will be our surfaces prepped. there we are then. I think that looks super duper cool. And yeah, of course, obviously it goes right around to there, protecting the whole bottom side from heat, reflecting that heat back, keeping our cool Mountune logo on here. Awesome. So I'll just set that to the side, and then I will jump out and grab the second part of the intake. Well, here we go. That is the secondary crossover pipe done with the Funk Motorsport gold reflective heat tape, and I think that looks awesome, especially with that cool sort of like little triangle-y bit that sort of just like pokes out into the top of the crossover. Just looks really cool. And then of course just the ultimate look once they're both together in the car. So with that said, it's time to get it back into the car. Well, there we go. That's the intake back in place with our new heat reflective gold tape from Funk Motorsport, and I think that looks really smart. It's not over the top. It's clearly there to serve a purpose, and it's something a little bit different than what you might normally expect to see in the engine bay of the Focus RS, especially with the Mountune intake. So I think that is absolutely awesome. Alright then, moving on, we are going to do a couple more bits of carbon. Now, I'm going to bring back the rear carbon wiper. It's been sitting in my garage for a long time, and you know, the stock plastic one is maybe a little faded, and since we're doing a little bit of carbon resurrection, I figure why not bring it back now. I won't go through all the installation bits and bobs, so I will do that now. There we go, nice. Okay, moving on to the last thing then, and that is to do with the RS like sort of emblem bit here on the rear wing. Now whenever I got the RS, I did have this filled in with the like black thing from DMB Graphics, and it always kind of annoyed me a little bit because it never really like fitted perfectly into this like indentation. Obviously they are like licensed by Ford or from Ford or whatever to use the actual RS logo, but it just wasn't quite right. I don't know if it was maybe the person who fitted it or whether it was an issue with the actual like gel badge itself, but it just never really sat right there for me. Whenever I went and got the car professionally ceramic coated, I removed it and removed all the gunk, and then whenever I got it back, I was going to put a new set of just black DMB Graphics gel logo in here, but I kind of just, you know, decided to leave it as is, you know, like it is from the factory, just at that point. And, you know, part of the reason was, you know, I was just going for something new, something that I hadn't had, which was, you know, the standard RS logo here on the rear wing. But another reason was because I was a bit apprehensive about, you know, going through the whole process and it not fitting right. But what I found was whenever I was getting some bits from Tough Skins over in the USA, they actually do a real carbon fiber gel inlay for the RS logo, and that is what I'm going to fit today as my third little mini carbon addition to the car. And this is the pack that you get from Tough Skins. You can see obviously it's the RS logo, and inside, embedded in these flexible gel badges, is a layer of real genuine carbon fiber. So hopefully you can kind of see the weave glinting in the light there, so it doesn't look fake, because it's not fake. It's not just a sticker of carbon, it's not hydro dipped, it is just an actual piece of carbon in the middle of the gel badge. So that is what I'm going to install right now, but before I get to the actual sticking on, I need to do a little bit of prep. So back out here at the wing, the prep is to use a little alcohol swab just in the groove of the RS logo, just to remove any like grime, even grime that we can't see, and just make sure that it is ready to receive our new sticky gel logo. Alright, so you might be able to see that's a little wet, so we'll just let that flash off, and while that is doing so, I will jump over and do the other side. So you can see in the back there, actually says real carbon fiber domed. They do offer like a more flat carbon that doesn't have like this sort of clear layer on and stuff, but I like shininess, so that's why I went for the domed one, the exact same as the stuff that I installed into the interior of my RS. So yeah, we just need to, here we go, just need to get to it. Peel it out of the packaging here. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Just very high gloss. That real carbon fiber in there just looks unbelievably awesome. These are of course self-adhesive, so now all I have to do is peel off this little strip and then we can stick it on. Well, there we go, it's as simple as that. And the fitment in there is absolutely perfect. And if we go out a little, I think that looks awesome. It looks awesome because it is obviously high contrast with the nitrous blue, but also because it is real carbon fiber. Okay, so now I will just bounce around here and do it on the other side. Well, there we go, the latest garage update, and updating you on the gold and carbon updates that I've done on the car. The trifecta of carbon, from the mirror caps to the rear wiper to the new Toughskins RS logos, I think just add that extra little bit of spice on top and it's just awesome. And then of course that gold wrap looks really cool in the engine bay and is going to actually have a functional performance improvement as well, which is great. So what do you think of the gold and carbon updates from today's video? Let me know in the comments down below and we'll have a little discussion. And yes, I hope you like all that, and I hope you like this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe for more content to come very, very soon. Thank you once again. Goodbye.